Welcome to Loving at a Distance with your hosts, Mac and Ayiana. Distance is hard enough as it is, and here we'll talk about the ins and outs and any tips and tricks we picked up along the way. Today, we're going to focus on our own relationship. So, Mac, the first time we met was...
2 years ago.
Yes.
About like a week ago. And we met at a party, a Halloween party, and we hit it right off as you were sat on your boyfriend's lap for most of the night.
Not the most conventional way to start a relationship.
No, but we didn't think anything of it at the time.
No.
We didn't think anything would develop, you know? So we moved on from that, and we just kept in touch. We were messaging pretty much every day, I think, after that. Surprisingly, we are both very good messagers, you know? Like, we respond quickly because, you know,
Yes.
like everyone, we always have our phones around us, you know?
An important part of a long-distance relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Access to your phone.
Yeah. Good communication, quick communication, whenever you want to speak to the other. And then moving on from that.
So when you came over to the US to study, did you think you were you trying to find a relationship?
I wasn't sure what I was trying to find. I hadn't been in anything before, so I just wanted to see what a different country would, you know, let me do, see what would happen when I was out there. And I'm glad about what I found, you know.
So that was when we met, and we first started dating in December.
Yeah.
And when we were dating that first month, I believe that was the first time it started to be long distance, when you went to go visit your family for Christmas.
Somewhat, yeah. I'd say throughout the whole relationship, even when we were both in the US, it was still long distance, you know. A lot of people consider just being not living in the same building long distance, you know, but we were still about 2 hours apart. Couldn't see each other every day, which was sad even then.
Yeah, but it's much different being 2 hours away than being 10 hours away.
Yeah, it is very different.
And I think that first time when we were apart, we relied so much on, was it WhatsApp?
I think, yeah, it was WhatsApp. We used that a lot then.
So.
And then we switched over to Zoom. Pretty much the March I left, we switched to Zoom because, you know, we didn't even know about it at the time until then.
Yeah.
You know, that's when we moved on to it.
So that's another major thing. You know, COVID.
Yeah.
That was a huge impact in our relationship. I think that took about 3 months off.
Well, I was going to be in the US until at least June. And then I had to leave at the end of March. So yeah, it was about 3 months cut off from it.
Yeah. Did you think that we were going to continue talking? Or going to continue dating?
Well, you were my girlfriend. I thought it'd stay that way. I hope that you thought the same. And clearly we both did.
I did think that we were going to continue our relationship. But, you know, I was doubtful.
You were hoping it would end.
No, I wasn't hoping it would end. I've been in long-distance relationships before for only a short period of time. And those were extremely difficult. But, you know, looking back on that now, it's not so much the distance, but more the communication. Yeah.
That's one of the points that I wanted to bring up about the communication in a relationship. It has to be great. Like, you have to be very willing and open to talking with your partner about everything that you're feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Because you can't be closed off, you can't shut off when you're talking online, because the other person it's not on them to, like, pick up on the little things, because you can't always see or know when you're online. You know, it's difficult to see everything, to know everything about it, so you need to talk to each other.
Definitely. What do you think is the hardest part of a long-distance relationship?
Just being apart so much.
Yeah.
It's really, not being next to the other person.
Yeah. I think a huge part of how we specifically feel love is by physical touch.
Yeah.
And because we're not close together, that's a huge part that we're missing.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But there are also benefits to a long-distance relationship, as terrible as that might sound.
Like one.
Well, absence grows the heart fonder, you know?
Yeah.
And even though we're apart, there's always something to talk about in our days. It always brings us so much happiness to be together. I'm not saying that it wouldn't if we weren't in a long-distance relationship, but it's just adds to it,
Yeah, it definitely does.
We have a sort of experience where we can't just rely on something physical. Like, it has to be a deep connection, and both parties have to be committed to making that connection work.
Yeah.
It's a huge benefit, because you know if this is something that's worth it or if it's not.
You're working towards.
Yes. Another major con, I would say, is costs.
Oh yeah. The costs of just seeing each other once a year is still pretty big, but we're trying to do as many times as we can.
Yeah. I think just the plane ticket, taking time off of work, food, sometimes hotel, like all those costs add up. Right now, I believe from the U.S. to London, it is about $800 for.
It's about. I think it's a little bit less to go over there for me, but
yes,
it's about the same.
About $800 if you plan a couple months ahead.
Yeah.
Anything spontaneous is going to be $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, so on. Not even including your luggage. Do you have any important tips or advice for our viewers?
Just to give it your all. You can't go into it without wanting it completely. It's difficult to keep it going if your heart's not fully in it. But if your heart's fully in it, it's easy as pie.
I think a major tip for our viewers is, just communicate. Communicate.
Yeah.
Communication helps build trust. And when you're so far apart, trust can be a big thing.
Yeah.
That concludes today's episode of Loving at a Distance. We'll see you guys next week.